Hello everybody and welcome back to the Red Army channel. Today I have a video on what things were commonly used by VC and North Vietnamese forces during the Vietnam War. So as you can see in front of me, there are two ceramic covered metal cups. These are quite rare actually. These are either Chinese made or North Vietnamese made drinking cups that were commonly issued to the VC and the North Vietnamese. But you don't see too many of these anymore. These are in quite good condition, though I will say it must have been quite hard for the people who were issued these, because these are actually quite small, and I'm working with one hand, so sorry. But quite good. And I mean, they're cracking and all that because they're old, but they're quite good. So that was a common piece you'd find amongst VC and North Vietnamese forces. Another piece that is quite interesting, and we did in the last video a review of, is the French M47 canteen. Now, if none of you know, there was the French-Indonesian War. So some surplus and some stuff ended up floating around. There was also, before, a French presence in Vietnam. And the French, during the Vietnam War, tried to keep their presence there a little bit, but they had no part in conflict. So you'd see very few of these floating around. However, I believe I've seen pictures of these before. So keep in mind, though, there was not a super lot of these floating around during the war. So let me grab these. This is the French M47 canteen. And it's a very interesting canteen. It's a very well designed one. It's based off the US M1910 canteen. It is a very common canteen to come across in the surplus market, and I recommend it. Anyway, this could be used to make rice. I will open it up for you guys. So you have, in this kit, a water bottle, a large aluminum bottle that I actually measured yesterday. Unlike my estimate in the last video, it holds about 1.5 quarts. And then we have, which is very hard to get out at the bottom, which it is on all US style, like the cups on the bottom are all hard to get on the US style canteen things. Then you have this right here. So this could be a common thing that was used to make rice, in the sense that you take your water, put it in this, put it in your cup, put it over fire, and use something like a rock, or this doesn't fit, but if you really want to, you could take the chain off and use it like a lid, or just use a piece of metal. But anyway, those are just ideas. I'm just thinking I'm getting off topic. This was another piece that was commonly used. So you can, well, it was commonly used amongst, I should say, and be specific, it is not that common. However, it was more commonly used amongst the North Vietnamese. This was not really seen by VC very much. You did not see VC carrying these very much. You saw VC carrying more Soviet and Chinese things than anything. And some NVA supplied things, if they could supply it to them. Now, a very common piece to see carried is a Soviet canteen. Soviet canteens are one of the most, or just Soviet equipment in general, are very common to see during the Vietnam War. As well as East German, I almost said North Vietnamese again, East German equipment as well. So this is about a quart canteen with just your basic button-over pouch. And again, it holds about a quart. This was a common carry by North Vietnamese and VC. So that would be a very good option for a example. Another good option that I actually don't have on hand is a Chinese 1 quart container water bottle. And I actually will put in the comments as well a link to that to go buy one if you really want to, because that was amongst the most common thing possible. Here's another piece that was very commonly used. This is a Soviet mess kit. The most common thing you'd probably find among them. It looks identical to Chinese ones, so you'd find Chinese ones that look almost exactly the same as this being used. This was another very common piece to be used, especially to make rice. Rice was a heavily eaten thing. You will see in pictures this little tube, and it was a tube of canvas that they'd carry about 4 weeks worth of rice in, that the soldiers would carry. The VC and the North Vietnamese were very resourceful when it came to that. They would basically get the people, and they'd work on the people's side, the farmers and such, and say, oh, every month buy a little more rice when you go to the store, and give it to us. And so they had all kinds of food stocked, and that's what you got to think about. Whenever people think of VC, they think of rat, dirty, don't have much. But the reality of it is that the VC had quite a bit of resources to work with. Though they had few on equipment-wise, on food-wise, they were doing pretty well. And on building-wise, because they could tunnel like a, you know what I'm going to say there. Anyway, this was common equipment used by the VC, and thank you guys for watching. I love to hear questions and comments from you, really like questions. It's one of my favorite things to answer. Like, subscribe, and share, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.